Hello and welcome to Mourant's Vlog Series looking at points in practice. Today I'll be looking at why corporate trustees and directors need to be aware of the transition away from LIBOR when papering new loans and transaction documents, as well as revisiting the loans they currently have in place. LIBOR stands for the London Interbank Offering Rate, and it's a benchmark interest rate at which major banks usually lend to one another. IBOR has been widely accepted as the standard rate of interest since the 70s, and the rate varies depending on the currency of the debt. So there are, for example, Euribor for Europe and HIBOR for Hong Kong, amongst others. The IBOR rates have been set by the Intercontinental Exchange since 2012 when the IBOR rigging scandal came to light. They base the rates on charges made by global banks for short-term loans. But this is about to change, and this is why trustees and directors need to consider reviewing their book of loans. By the end of 2021, LIBOR rates will no longer be published, and this will have an impact on corporate trustees and directors in how they should paper those loans. IBOR rates in Europe, Switzerland, Japan and the UK, amongst others, will come to an end on the 31st of December 2021, and this will affect debt obligations from the end of this year in all currencies except for US dollar LIBOR, which is expected to stay in use until 30 June 2023. There's an estimated 200 trillion in outstanding business loans and derivative instruments priced in US dollar LIBOR alone, so you can see the impact that this might have globally. 1 week and 2 month US dollar LIBOR will not be published after the 31st of December 2021, and all other US dollar LIBOR tenors, such as overnight, 1 month, and 3, 6 and 12 month tenors will cease from the 30th of June 2023. On the 5th of March 2021, regulators and industry groups provided greater clarity around LIBOR being phased out and transitioning to a risk-free rate, such as the standard overnight financing rate or the sterling overnight index average. In reality, what does this mean for trustees and directors? Well, all loans, facilities and other contracts which contain an interest calculation that is linked to an IBOR rate, which has an arrangement which stays in place beyond the 1st of January 2022, will need to be revisited. In addition, any loans papered after the end of this year will need to refer to one of the risk-free interest rates. So we take an example. If a trustee entered into a 20-year loan arrangement on the 1st of January 2010, which was secured and subject to LIBOR interest rates of LIBOR plus 2%, then the interest term would need to be revisited, or there'd be a risk that the interest rate would become unintelligible as a base rate will cease to exist as a reference point from the 1st of January 2022. If that loan was not revisited and subject to interest, then this would be fine between the 1st of January 2010 and the 31st of December 2021. However, for the remaining 9 years of that loan, there will be no published LIBOR rates to use when calculating the loan interest rates. Therefore, the interest would not be calculable unless it was revisited. If the loan was subject to US dollar LIBOR, 1 month, for example, then they would have until the 30th of June 2023 to revisit the interest rates. Where loans are not revisited and repapered, this could leave the trustee and directors open to claims to make good any loss suffered. At the moment, we don't know if any legislation is expected to provide for any loans that fail to be revisited, but to avoid any issues, trustees and directors should be looking at their loans now to see what they have and what is subject to interest rates, so they can see what needs to be revisited and revised. Over the life of a long-term loan, getting the interest rates wrong could result in a cumulative and significant loss, which is currently avoidable. It's also possible that the parties might seek to renegotiate terms if possible, in which case you might need the advice of a lawyer or other specialist accounting firm to assist you.